They didn't hug me when I walked in. My dad looked right through me. My mom whispered, "You came?" Like I was a stranger crashing a private event. No one saved me a seat. I was still their daughter technically, but standing in that ballroom I felt like a ghost. Until the sky split open and a military chopper came for me. This isn't just a revenge story. It's the one where silence hits harder than any scream. I arrived alone. No entourage, no flashy dress. Just a navy sheath I'd worn once under a military coat no one ever saw. Inside the Aspen Grove ballroom, laughter rolled like thunder. My heels clicked against polished marble as I scanned the crowd, already knowing what I'd find. Mom stood near the photo wall, drink in hand, pointing proudly at a framed shot of my younger brother. My dad beamed beside her. The caption read, "Bryce Dorsey, valedictorian, Harvard, class of 2009. No picture of me. Not one. I'd been class president, orchestra chair, founder of the International Relations Club. You wouldn't know it. You'd think I never existed." I stepped closer. Mom caught sight of me. Her smile dimmed a fraction. "Oh," she said, like I'd interrupted something sacred. "You came." Dad turned. His eyes landed on me, then moved past, like someone glancing at a misplaced coat. "No hug. No, you look beautiful. No, we're proud of you. Where are you sitting?" Mom asked, already distracted. "Table 14, I think." She blinked. "Near the back." I nodded. "That makes sense," she said. They drifted back into the crowd without another word. I walked alone past golden tables marked with names like Dr. Patel, Senator Ames, CEO Lynn. Then there was mine. Anna Dorsey. No title. No rank. Just me alone at a half-empty table by the exit. Sunken cushion. Missing centerpiece. I looked up and heard my mother's voice carry across the room from the dessert station. She always was the quiet one. No ambition for the spotlight. Someone replied, "Didn't she join the army or something?" Mom sipped her wine. "Something like that. We don't really keep in touch." That one stung. Not because it wasn't true. Because it was said like I'd asked for it. They didn't just forget me. They erased me. And for 20 years I let them think I'd vanished. But I hadn't disappeared. I'd simply been serving where they'd never look. And that night they were about to learn just how wrong they were. I barely touched my food when Melissa Young appeared beside me, holding her phone with that half-apologetic look people wear before dropping bad news. "I thought you should see this," she said. She tapped the screen. An email dated 15 years back. Subject line: Removal request. Anna Dorsey. Sent from my father's office email to the Jefferson High Alumni Committee. Given Anna's decision to discontinue her academic path and pursue non-traditional employment, we feel her inclusion in the upcoming alumni honor roll may cause confusion about our family's values and narrative. Kindly remove her name from any future recognitions. I stared at it. Not just the words. The precision. The deliberate shame hidden behind fake politeness. My non-traditional employment was 4 combat deployments and 2 intelligence commendations. Melissa swiped again. Another email. This one to the Medal of Honor nomination board. From my mother. Anna Dorsey has expressed her wish for privacy and anonymity. Please withdraw her nomination. I never wrote that. I never asked for that. They didn't just ignore my accomplishments. They stole them. The DJ announced something cheerful. People clapped and toasted. A new slideshow flickered across the screen. Baby photos, prom nights, graduations. No image of me. And when my face did appear in one group photo from Model UN, someone behind me muttered, "Didn't she drop out right after that?" I remembered that day. I gave the final speech. But they'd zoomed in on Bryce in the corner, wearing a blazer 2 sizes too big. He hadn't even spoken. I'd been written out. Not forgotten. Not misplaced. Rewritten. My parents had done it with such care, such consistency. Like scrubbing a stain from the family name. And the worst part? It worked. No one in that room knew who I was anymore. Worse, none of them cared to ask. I remember being 17, telling my parents I'd accepted West Point. My dad said nothing for a full minute. Then, "So you're choosing the barracks over the Ivy League?" "I'm choosing purpose," I said. He shook his head and left the room. That's what they'd been doing ever since. Leaving the room every time I showed up. Every time I accomplished something. I stepped out onto the balcony. Inside, they were cutting the reunion cake. Mom had a champagne flute in hand. Dad was mid-laugh. Bryce was surrounded by a circle of Ivy League smiles. From out here, it all looked like a movie I'd been edited out of. My phone vibrated. A secure notification. Merlin status updated. Threat level 3 increasing. Requesting eyes. I stepped back inside my suite. Closed the door. Drew the curtains. Opened the black case hidden under my hanging dress. Fingerprint, voice, retinal ID. The interface booted with a soft chime. A live breach. Multi-vector. International implications. Embedded signal traces inside a NATO archive. It wasn't just noise. It was war and code. And they needed me still. While my family toasted to the people I never became. A cyber unit across the world was waiting for my instructions. I sat at the edge of the bed and took off my heels. Then I reached under the false panel of my suitcase and unfolded the uniform. Dress blues. Polished bars. A single silver star. I didn't put it on. Not yet. I just stared at it. Silence had protected me for years. But watching them laugh tonight, erase me, rewrite the narrative in real time, silence no longer felt like a shield. It felt like consent. My phone pinged again. Colonel Ellison's voice low and sharp. "Ma'am. Requesting extraction window. Merlin escalation confirmed. Pentagon needs your presence in DC by 0600. Confirmed, I said. The world still called for me. Even if my family never would. The music had just shifted into something jazzy when the MC grabbed the mic. And now our final toast. Mr. and Mrs. Dorsey, proud parents of Bryce Dorsey, Harvard grad and rising star in venture capital. Applause. My mother stood with both arms stretched out like she was accepting an Oscar. My father raised his glass like a man who'd earned everything in that room. And of course, the MC added, chuckling, shout out to the Dorsey family's other child. Wherever she ended up. Laughter rippled across the room like static. Then it hit. A sound. Low. Rumbling. Sharp. The chandeliers trembled. Napkins fluttered. Glasses clinked against each other. Outside, the sky cracked open with the whump-whump of helicopter blades. Matte black. Stealth painted. Floodlights flaring. Rotors churning the air like a storm. Guests spilled toward the glass doors, phones raised, voices tumbling into confused panic. The front doors blew open with wind and noise as two figures emerged, uniforms pressed, boots striking the marble floor with sharp, synchronized steps. Colonel Ellison. He scanned the room like a missile locking onto a target. Then he saw me. He walked straight past the CEOs, past the senators, past the golden tables at the front, stopped 3 feet from me. Chest squared. Then he saluted. Lieutenant General Dorsey, ma'am. The Pentagon requires your immediate presence. The room froze. Chairs stopped creaking. Forks hung midair. My mother's smile slid from her face like melting wax. My father's wine glass tilted in his hand. Lieutenant General? Someone whispered. Ellison didn't flinch. Ma'am. Intel confirms active movement on Merlin. Immediate extraction authorized. I nodded once. The MC lowered his mic. The DJ didn't touch the music. Bryce sat slack-jawed, blinking like he was buffering. Then the reporter, invited to cover the reunion, stepped forward holding a trembling sheet of paper. I've just received this, she said. An internal leak from the Jefferson High Board. An email from the Dorseys in 2010. Requesting the removal of General Dorsey's name from the alumni wall, to avoid, and I'm quoting, confusion over their family legacy. A gasp that sucked the air from the room. I turned to face my parents. You didn't just reject me. My voice was steady. You tried to erase me. My mother opened her mouth, closed it. My father stepped forward. Anna, No. You don't get to speak now. I turned to Ellison. Let's go. He handed me the classified folder. Chopper's ready, ma'am. I walked past my mother, past my father's stunned silence, past Bryce's broken stare, past the table I was never meant to sit at. As I stepped into the cool night air, wind whipping my hair, I could hear the whispers building behind me. She's a general. Wait, that's the daughter. They lied about her. Let them wonder. Some truths don't need a microphone. Just a moment loud enough to shake the sky. The Medal of Honor didn't feel heavy around my neck. Not like silence did. Not like 2 decades of being erased by the people who were supposed to know me best. The South Lawn was full that morning. Press, cadets, military brass, senators. When the president placed the ribbon around my neck and read the citation, for acts of service beyond visibility, for protecting not only the mission but the dignity of the invisible, I didn't smile. I stood straight, shoulders back, because this was never about recognition. It was about truth. Somewhere in the 3rd row, my mother sat with perfect posture, pearl earrings glinting in the sun. My father stared straight ahead. I didn't look their way. They didn't cry. They didn't clap. But Melissa did. And Colonel Ellison, standing just behind the cameras, lifted his chin with quiet pride. Later that day, I visited the new wall at Jefferson High. My name had been restored. Not in gold. Not in marble. Just a clean bronze plaque with simple words. Anna Dorsey led in silence. Served without needing to be seen. A young cadet approached, freckled, about the age I was when I left for West Point. Her voice shook slightly. Ma'am, you're the reason I enlisted. I nodded once. That was enough. I don't know if my parents stayed to see the plaque. I don't need to know. That's the thing about being abandoned by the people who were supposed to love you. Once you stop trying to be welcomed back, you get to choose what you carry forward. And what you finally lay down. If you've ever felt erased by your own family, drop a 1 in the comments. If you made it out stronger even in silence, drop a 2. Not for the algorithm. Not for attention. Just so others like us know we're not alone. Not anymore.